Hi, I'm Tom Lippincott, and welcome to Comping the Blues. This two-part class is going to cover two separate subjects that are both interrelated. The first one that we're going to cover today is comping rhythms, and we're going to be, of course, as the title implies, applying these to a blues progression, a jazz blues progression. This is something that definitely we're going to be applying to the blues, and it's really useful for it, but it's also something that would be equally useful for any type of jazz tune that you're playing, whether it's a standard or a jazz tune that's 4/4 swing, basically. Bum, bum, bum. Now, if I can really solidly do that, and I'm really trying to, in my head, still be able to hear all those subdivisions, I highly recommend with any of these comping rhythms that you be able to do what I just did with this exercise, because you'll get them much more accurate and able to sort of play in the pocket and groove with a good bass player and a drummer. And the bass players and drummers of the world will thank you for doing this work. Same thing happens with comping rhythms, is very often, again, not universal, but very often, the last rhythm that you play in a phrase will be a short upbeat. So that's why that rhythm is so popular. And then the same with this one. But that can always be varied, because another property that jazz piano players and guitar players have when they comp is variety. So that's long, short, just like I played it originally. Now I've got long, long, short, short, bop, bop. Notice how when I put that big accent on the end of 4, it almost sounds like it belongs on the next measure, like it's not even part of the previous bar. So if I was playing, let's say, you know, back and forth between a B flat 7 and an E flat 7 chord with like a funky straight eighth feel, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4. It sounds like I'm playing a measure of B flat 7 and a measure of E flat 7, but I'm playing the B flat 7 not at the end of the measure of B flat. I'm actually playing it before the measure of B flat 7 starts on the end of 4. So technically it's kind of wrong because I'm jumping the gun, but it sounds right because we're used to hearing that sound a lot in a lot of different styles of music too, not just jazz. Even if you've gotten to the point where you understand the concept and you can do it, you got no problem playing anticipations, it's a good idea to practice it, and I think a good idea to really kind of zero in on it and really just practice, okay, I'm going to play a whole blues using that anticipation concept on every chord, just to get used to the idea of doing it. Get that thing in your head and the sound of that rhythm and the way it feels. And the more you do it, the more it starts to become natural. And then when it's time to really play and use your imagination and come up with variety and different things, that's going to be one of those things that's part of your vocabulary that comes out. It's like a word that you know. Thumb downstroke and then upstrokes with these 3 fingers at the same time, kind of a squeezing motion between those two to vibrate 4 strings at the same time, or at least up to 4 strings. So that's one technique that you can use if you're playing with a pick, or a lot of players just put down the pick entirely while they're playing chords and just comp with their fingers like what I'm doing. The bass player will appreciate you if you stay out of his or her way. And again, we want to get called back for the gig or for the jam session. What I'm going to do in this example 18, first of all, I'm putting all these comping rhythms and half-step approaches and different articulations and so forth together, but I'm also leaving out the bass notes of the chords.